I think Instagram.
No, where did you post it in Slack?
I don't know that I posted it in Slack. I think I posted it in
Put a
Instagram.
fine point on it right now. For the 4.7 billion Americans who have received this debt relief, the average, as you said at the start of this visit, was $35,000 their relief has been for. So I guess why don't those individuals who didn't receive $35,000 in debt cancellation deserve a $35,000 check from other Americans for what other means they would want to use it?
You're talking about
Those
the.
people who didn't go to college, so they're not getting debt relief, the $35,000 that they don't get because they didn't go.
We're talking about folks who are in debt who are literally being crushed. Literally being crushed because they took, you know, they took
Literally being crushed. Let's be
financially. Okay, is that okay with you? Okay, but I know, but crushed financially, and so they're trying to get their lives back on track, right? They're trying to get.
Enemy territory here. Hello, hello, hello. It is Wednesday and it's time for Pop and Politics. We are talking about the latest in hot topics, news, and entertainment. I'm KJ along with my amazing co-host tonight. Of course, we have Shelly E. And joining us tonight, first time in the studio, but he has been to the show before, is Chris Anderson. Chris is running for city council here. What's the district?
District 7.
District 7 city council, and he will be with us for the full show tonight to weigh in on all of the hot topics. So again, as I always say, join the conversation by leaving a comment on YouTube or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. And don't just comment, subscribe. If you miss us here on YouTube, you can watch us on Rumble. You can also listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts under the same name, Pop and Politics. We are an independent media, and if you want to support what we do, your super chats and donations go a long way to helping us produce conservative content. Any amount is appreciated. Guys, this is not just a podcast. This is a movement of God-fearing, truth-seeking, America-loving people that understand there is a target on our backs because we value freedom. Yet we still stand, and we stand together by subscribing, by forming our community. That way we amplify this rallying call for freedom. All right, everybody, let's set it off. Right. So we are starting out tonight. As I mentioned at the top of the show, we have with us tonight Chris Anderson running here for under the Republican ticket for City Council. So Chris, I wanted to start off with you. What are the major issues that you are focusing on in your campaign?
KJ, thanks for having me on, first of all. And I'm so glad to see Shelly E. I got so much to say to her tonight. She spark off. We're going to spark off tonight. Right? The three major issues in District 7. District 7 is also the West Baltimore area, if you're not familiar with it, right where the Freddie Gray riots happened at. Overlooked and underrepresented by the GOP. I'm the GOP nominee for that area. There's not a lot of Republicans in that area, but you see that area. That area is tore up from the floor by the Democrats. I think the Democrats are running it into the ground. My three issues. Number one, if you walk over to that area, ride through that area, you see the opioid crisis. The opioid crisis started there. Yet no one is fixing it there. When you hear people talk about their top three issues, they always say crime. They always say the same old regular mundane things: crime, education, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Let's start with the opioid crisis that's sitting over there. There's people nodding out, falling out over there in the district that need some help. Right. You know, and the Democratic Party that say they love us so much, they ain't helping us. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. That's my top issue that I want to target, that opioid crisis. Next is the educational level, okay? The educational level is so bad that we get blamed for everything in the black community. We're too ignorant to do this. We don't know this. We don't know that. We need charter schools in that area. I'm championing charter schools for that area. I want some charter schools for those children to learn. There's a school over there. I don't know if y'all know this, the collegiate school for boys, doing way better than the public school is. And then they try to shut them down because it destroys the false narrative that we don't learn, that we're stupid or whatever. The school system needs to be fixed, okay? And my third area, I know it's, kind of everybody, crime. We need a crime plan in that district, okay? But if you fix the education and the opioids, you'll tackle the crime.
Okay.
I think if you fix the education, to tell you the truth, you won't have as much crime.
Okay.
Those are my top 3 issues.
Absolutely. Excellent. Well, we have your URL up there, your website. You can find Chris right there if you want to learn more about his solutions and ideas for the issues. You can check him out there. And we are going to go through a lot of issues tonight. So you'll hear his response and opinion and perspective on many issues from tonight. All right, so we are going to get right into it. I want to start the top of the hour. Breaking news out today. Nikki Haley has finally come out and I'm not sure if it's an endorsement, but she says she will be voting for Donald Trump in this election. So I think she saw the lies of Corinne Jean-Pierre and said she had to come out and vote for and say she's voting for Trump because we can't stand another 4 years of Biden. So under the Biden administration. So she did say that today, just earlier, like maybe like an hour or so. She actually said here that her first public remarks since exiting the Republican presidential primary more than 2 months ago, she said, Haley said, Trump has not been perfect on policies important to her, but President Joe Biden has been a catastrophe. So I will be voting for Trump, said Haley, who of course served as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations under the former president. So that was on Fox News. Shirley, what are your just a quick comment on that?
I didn't think she would vote for Biden. I figured she would vote for Trump in spite of the primary and primary elections or the primaries, and in spite of the back and forth and going at Trump. Trump did hire her as UN ambassador. As much as Nikki got on our nerves, she's still a Republican. She still has, I think, the best interest for the Republican Party and for America. Do I agree with her and everything? Absolutely not. I've even said if she was the nominee, I would have voted for Nikki as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are going to get right into it. We're starting off with our counter view segment.
There you go.
All right. Here we are. So take a look here. This is clip number 2.
It's just not in his nature.
So, but I'm nervous about saying anything against Biden because I feel, not that I have so much power, and you have some more than I do, obviously. But
I don't know about that.
Are you afraid that you might, influence people who are on the fence?
I think you lose all credibility. I do. I mean, my bond with my audience has always been I don't pull a punch.
Yeah.
My bond with my audience is you're not going to like everything I say,
yeah.
but I'm saying what I really think is true.
Right.
That's. Yeah. Okay. And look, Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But
Wow. So that was Bill Maher. Say what you want about Bill Maher. I mean, I definitely don't agree with most of what he says, but he doesn't pull punches when he's talking about the Democrats and things that he's unhappy about within his own party. But we saw there that Joy does. What are your thoughts on what she said? She censors herself because she doesn't want people not to vote for Biden.
Translation, when I looked at that clip, all of them basically admitted to saying that they tell their viewers bullshit. That's basically what they do. So they already admitted that. That's what the truth is. They want you to only believe what they think you want to hear. They don't have a high value, if you will, of you. They don't think you're intelligent, like the Democrat Party, like we saw with Biden talking to Morehouse, giving them more shit, and like the standard Democrat trope is basically that black people and our voters are just dumb. That's what they think about you. Kathy Hochul said it about the black students don't even know what a computer is. This is what you vote for, and The View just for once they just told the truth for once.
Yeah.
I think I would like to say I disagree. I think, well, I don't disagree with you. Joey Barr is, the people on The View are just disingenuous. That's all I have to say. They're disingenuous. They're leading the black community and most of the audience, Democratic voters, astray. But I think what you said about Bill Maher's always told the truth. And I think he's right about, listen, he's right about Biden. Biden is old. Biden is one trip away from not being the president. I'm sorry. We need to not vote for him. Biden is one trip away. One fall. He already had 3.
Make it.
He had one. If they bring him up for re-election and he fall off the stage, I guarantee you Kamala Harris is going to be president. We need Trump in office now.
Yeah, definitely. But what about that? What she said, what Shelley said, that the Democrat Party, they don't believe that we are smart enough, as for black people, because black people is who they mostly speak to. They don't believe we're smart enough to handle the truth and make our own decisions.
No.
Or is it that they think we're gullible enough
Both.
to lie to, and we
Both.
believe it?
Both. So if you think someone is gullible, right then and there, that means you really have no respect for their own mind, their own ability to make decisions, to even think and just figure things out. If you think they're gullible, and also if you think they're gullible as human beings, what tends to happen is that other people will take advantage of that type of person. The View just said it. Joy, Whoopi, Sonny, Sarah, they all basically agreed that their audience is dumb. They are dumb, and they need to dumb it down. That's basically what the translation is.
Yeah.
That's what street talk, how it goes.
What they do is they keep, and I'm glad your viewers, I'm so glad about your show. More viewers need to realize that black people aren't stupid. It's time for us as conservative blacks to stand up. These shows I watch these shows. Roland Martin, I watch Joy Reid. All of them just cater to a dumb black audience. Yeah. And it's black conservatives are rising up and saying, hey, that's not the case. You don't have to dumb things down for us all the time. They always just saying dumb things to us and then expect us to just drink it down. Okay, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Right.
Trump's a racist. Even though Biden's a racist too, a card-carrying racist. He's more racist than any president. Man, lock 90% of black people up. Why are we letting the racists tell us who a racist is? They think that we're a dumb audience. It's time we prove them wrong.
I agree. And speaking of that, speaking of the lies, because this is what they're doing on The View, they're just blatant lies and misinformation, which I want to move to the Trump trial in New York City and Michael Cohen. So Michael Cohen took the stand recently, and he admitted that he stole from the Trump organization. So the only discernible crime in Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's lawfare case against former President Donald Trump is the star witness, of course, convicted liar Michael Cohen admitted Monday on the stand that he stole from the Trump organization because he was angry. Take a look here. This is clip number 3.
Let me read for you the exchange between Todd Blanche and Michael Cohen. So you only gave him $20,000 and you took $30,000. Blanche, you stole from the Trump organization, right? Cohen says, yes, sir. Blanche goes on later on. He says, you did steal from the Trump organization based upon the expected reimbursement, correct? And he says, yes, sir. So again, that is breaking it out because essentially they walked through what it is that Michael Cohen actually paid Renfridge. And this goes back to, Jose, what you were just talking about, in this brown paper bag, all cash. He came to the Trump organization, an individual who worked for Renfridge, to collect this payment, $20,000, in which Michael Cohen paid out to this individual.
All right. So, again, Cohen admitted that in 2017, he asked the Trump organization CFO Alan Weisselberg for $50,000 to pay back tech firm Redfinch. Cohen paid the firm $20,000 and then pocketed $30,000 for himself. Shelley, can this guy be trusted?
Oh, please. I trust him as much as I trust a $3 bill. Y'all remember that? $3 bill. Okay, whatever. So let's 2 things. Number 1, I remember brown paper bags were used to carry your lunch in, right? I didn't know they could fit and hold 20,000. I didn't know that, right?
Gangsta style,
right? Not only that, let's add a correction. He stole 60,000 because the 30,000 was from the 50 that he kept. And then the Trump organization added another 30 because of taxes. They knew that he would be taxed on that. So they wanted to make sure he was able to walk away with 30 in his pocket. So technically he stole $60,000 because it should have been zero. He's a crook. He's a crook. He's a crook. Again, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. How are you supposed to believe him? The only time you believe him is when he's incriminating himself, because that's what he does best. He lies on everyone else. But when his money is involved and he can get it in the brown bag, that's what he does. He steals and he lies.
I swear, I don't see how the trial is still even going on.
Exactly.
This is an issue. Y'all using the word crook and trust. It's called credibility in court. He's not credible. He's not a credible witness. He stole. It should be open. Trump should walk. Trump should walk.
Yeah, but it isn't in New York City. I think New York City is like 90% Democrat. I hope that they're able to, put aside their bias and look at the facts of the case. The entire case is about Cohen saying he used his money to pay off Horry Daniels, not Stormy, Horry Daniels, and was reimbursed with campaign funds. But we clearly see that that he lies about money.
Right.
He admitted to stealing money in cross-examination because he knew that the defense had proof that he did it. So, I mean, why would anybody say
because it's a racket. That's how you know. He was already convicted from prosecutors before for perjury and whatever other tax evasion or whatever the crimes were. Now he's all of a sudden he's supposed to be the darling for the prosecution, and he just admitted again that he lied on stage. This should never have been a trial from the beginning. Not only that, there was no crime. Trump did not commit a crime. If he had used campaign funds only for something that was for the campaign, he's allowed to do that for the campaign. But he used his personal money to pay off Stormy. Hush money is not a crime. You can do that between adults. There was no inclination to rob, murder, steal, fraud, nothing. If he paid her $100,000 to keep quiet, they were adults, whatever the reason was, you can do that. It is not a crime. Everything that somebody does that we don't like or is immoral does not mean it's a crime.
Right, unethical. This trial's going to get thrown out. It's going to get thrown out. It's just a waste of taxpayer money to keep Trump from campaigning.
Exactly.
I mean, he paid a girl hush money. We don't even know what for or whatever. That sounds like something personal, like you said.
Look, if he had paid me more than that, I'm letting you know I would have hushed up.
I know Shelley's going to say that.
I would have just, I would have been.
You got nothing to say. Give me another payment, right?
Oh my gosh. Well, we will see. I mean, we do know that this has not gotten fair news play. It has not gotten fair coverage. They have not really broken down the case in terms of the law. They're just, again, propaganda with the mainstream media. And this is what we see, and this is what they're doing on Face the Nation. This brings us to our next topic. Senator Marco Rubio was on Face the Nation speaking to Kristen Welker on Sunday. And he basically said that he would have to wait and see whether the election would be unfair before declaring that he would accept the results. And I quote, no matter what. Take a look here. This is clip 4.
Do you accept the election results of 2024 no matter what happens, Senator?
No matter what happens? No, if it's an unfair election, I think it's going to be contested by either side.
Senator, no matter who wins.
I think you're asking the wrong person. The Democrats are the ones that have opposed every Republican victory since 2000. Every single one.
No Democrat has refused to concede. Hillary Clinton conceded. Senator, will you accept the election results?
Hillary Clinton said the election was stolen from her and that Trump was illegitimate. Kamala Harris agreed.
Senator,
we have Democrats now.
Senator, she conceded the election. She said that Trump was illegitimate. She said that the election had been stolen. Kamala Harris agreed. By the way, there are Democrats serving in Congress today who in 2004 voted not to certify the Ohio electors because they said those machines had been tampered with. And you have Democrats now saying they won't certify 2024 because Trump is an insurrectionist and ineligible to hold office. So you need to ask them. I think have you ever asked a Democrat this question on your show? I bet you've never asked a Democrat that question. Senator, you voted to certify the 2020 election, and here is what you said on that day that you voted to certify the 2020 election.
Yeah. Democracy is held together by people's confidence in the election and their willingness to abide by its results.
So by your own definition, are Donald Trump's claims undermining Americans' confidence in democracy, given that he has not conceded the last election and he just said in recent days twice that he won Minnesota, Senator?
I think what undermines people's confidence in the election is when you have places like Wisconsin with over 500 illegal drop box locations, when you have places like Georgia where liberal groups are paying people $10 per vote. No, but listen, what undermines elections is when NBC News and every major news outlet in America in 2020 censored the Biden laptop story, which turned out to be true, not Russian misinformation, unprecedented. Only you couldn't even talk about it on social media. They would deplatform you. People look at all this. They look at what happened in Arizona, 200,000 ballots that had the signatures didn't match. People will lose confidence, and it opens the door to this.
I have to jump in here. Senator, you voted to certify the election, and
because at that stage in the process, you have no options.
Senator, you voted to certify the election. Nothing has been censored on this program. Hillary Clinton
did you guys cover the laptop for Joe Biden in 2020?
Absolutely, we covered the laptop.
It was bad. You couldn't even talk about it in social media.
Chris Krebs, the top
election official, you couldn't talk about it in social media. It'd be deplatformed. You couldn't even talk about it because
Good for you, Marco Rubio. He gave it to her, and he was correct. They have failed every turn to ask the tough questions to Democrats and the left, and it's despicable. Shelley, well, what are your thoughts on that?
Again, I think he did say this. They never ask Democrats these same types of questions. They never. Hillary Clinton, the Democrats, I remember 2000 when, remember the hanging Chads and the pregnant Chads, all of that debacle, and eventually George W. Bush won. But they cry, they bitch, they moan, they say they don't concede, they intimate that there was cheating, when really all the cheating, 99.9% of it, I'll say that, comes from their side. When you have Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, all these states coming out now talking about the missteps, I'll call them, in their elections back in 2020. This is BS. First of all, our elections should be way more secure than what they are.
Yes.
And every person who votes in every state of the union, yes, we're still a union, every person should have ID.
Yeah.
ID. And it's not a racial thing. It's not a sex thing. No, did I say sex? Because there's only two. It's not a sex thing. You should have an ID. Call me what you want, but you should have an ID.
I agree. I went to vote. The other day, I lost my ID right before the election. And I rushed. I called everybody on the phone, and they was like, get your ID, get your ID. And I got my ID. And when I got to the voting booth, nobody asked me for anything. Nothing. I was like, man, I went through all that for nothing. But I got to say, Marco Rubio, bravo. Bravo. That's a Republican. Look, I know what Shelley E. said. I don't care what the Democrats do, whether they cheat. This is freedom of speech. I should be able to say what I want to the press. Don't sit here and ask me about were you certified. You know daggone well most people, when they get elected, they know they lose. I mean, even here in Baltimore, Sheila Dixon has asked for a recount 2 to 3 times. But when Republicans do it, oh, you guys are election deniers. That's a big ass lie. I'm sorry. That's a big lie. Okay, we just want free and fair elections. Period.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you guys something, because I do need to push back on one thing that Welker pointed out, is that Hillary Clinton did concede to President Trump in 2016, although afterwards she said he was illegitimate, but she did concede. So do Democrats have a point in making the distinction between what they do or what she did and what Trump did?
No. Okay. First of all,
because Trump still has not conceded.
Okay, so what? He's not in the office, unfortunately. He's not there. So what? A concession is sort of a gracious tactic or a gracious thing to do. It is not required. It does not negate whoever the actual person who won.
So let me jump in if I could. So you don't believe that was a natural historical part of the transition of power?
I mean, probably
especially for president.
It probably is, but let's be something straight. The Democrats do not immediately concede as well. I'm not saying that Trump, maybe he should. Maybe, I think for political reasons, and yes, I will say for political reasons, maybe Trump should just do a concession speech, maybe tomorrow or next week. If I were his strategist, I would say, you know what, Donald, Mr. President, go ahead and just do that concession speech so you can shut their goddamn mouths up.
The concession speech thing, they keep jumping on us about that. we hear about elections all the time. We only hear about this concession speak when it comes down to Trump and Hillary. And by the way, Hillary didn't give that speech until a day or two later. Okay, she was butthurt when she lost. Okay, she couldn't believe it herself. Okay, a day or two later, she gave that speech, and then she kind of took the speech back. Okay, somebody must have advised her and say, Hillary, go ahead and do a speech.
Because it
make you look good. But she didn't want to do that speech.
I understand the concession. Again, it's a historical tradition, right? But what makes me angry is that they cheat and they lie and they steal.
Yeah.
And when they don't win, even after doing all of that, they try to project and say it's the Republicans who don't do it.
Right.
They go through all, we don't cheat. I'm not saying never have we done, but I'm sure in some election. But by and large, Republicans are not the ones that have to cheat, lie, and steal. So if we lose, we lose honestly. If we win, we win. They go through hell and high water to cheat, scheme, and steal. And then when they don't win after all of that, then it's a big brouhaha.
Shelley E. is right. She's right. We Republicans, I would go far as say Republicans don't cheat. When I'm in this,
on the average, just being a human being.
You're giving them a benefit of the doubt. But every time I talk to a Republican, you got to do the right thing. By God is watching. Jesus Christ is watching. The Lord in heaven is looking down on us. You can't do wrong, Chris. You know, I hear that all the time. So I can't see Republicans cheat. They got God on their side. They act like they got God looking right over their shoulder if they do something wrong. They act like they're gonna go to hell if they cheat or do something wrong. So they got a lot of motivation not to cheat.
Right. You're right. And honestly, guys, to me, it's this whole mail-in voting crap that they pushed on us when through the COVID scandemic. They pushed this on us. Now we no longer have election day. It's election month, election week. It's ridiculous. This is not right. That in itself should be changed and put back to election day.
And then you gotta wait, weeks to get all of the results.
Right. They're doing this now because of this mail-in thing. They know who the winner is before it comes out. The winner is going to be won in mail-in ballots now, not on election day.
But it's interesting, though. I find it interesting.
Soon it won't be no election day at all.
You're right. Call me what you want. Call me election denier. But I find it interesting that just about every time we have these, since we started these mail-in votes, how is it that after the election, it's always in the Democrats' favor? Yeah. It never goes to the Republican with these mail-in votes. I mean, even by the law of averages, how does that pan out like that? Yeah. I don't get it.
And not only that, let's say that mail-in votes is less accurate than going on election day. Let's just say that. It still creates a atmosphere of unfairness. Right. So that is why election day, that way you don't have to go days and weeks counting and recounting most times. You go on election day. If you miss it, you miss it. You go, and then that's it. That's it. I mean, this is ridiculous. And one thing I'm upset about is Republicans have not pushed back against this enough.
They don't. That's why I say it takes them a lot just to cheat. I mean, we had to fight this Republican Party just to tell them, look, y'all got to get with the mail-in ballot thing. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. God is watching. I mean, they got to learn to cheat, okay? They don't know nothing about cheat. They got to learn to do it. Yeah. But that's why people think they cowards, but it's not cowards. They just got Jesus on. Jesus is watching me. I can't do that. But now you got to keep up with the Democrats. They're cheating. Yeah, they're cheating. If you're going to fight the devil, fight the devil. Fight the devil with the Lord, okay?
Yeah. I want to acknowledge our super chatter here. We definitely want to do that. Thank you guys so much. Let me see here. Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. She says, Rubio did very well here. Good for him. He did. He did very well. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. And I want to give a special shout out to Krista. Yes, we see you on the chat tonight. Thank you so much.
You're doing better.
Yeah, it was good seeing you here. We hadn't seen you in a while, so I wanted to give you a special shout out. Guys, certainly check out Christopher Anderson's page. Again, he's here with us for the full hour tonight, just chiming in on all of the topics. He's running here as a stone cold conservative here in Baltimore City, and he's a great guy and amazing candidate, so certainly check him out. Yeah. All right, so we are moving right along to Harrison Butker. So you guys, this video has gone viral. Harrison Butker, he is the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he gave a phenomenal commencement speech, I believe it was last week, at Benedictine College. Of course, the left was apoplectic, as Shelley always says, about the speech. He called out Biden for saying he's a Catholic and not going along with Catholic values. He called out the gender roles, this LGBT. He called out women not being happy to be homemakers and living in their femininity. I mean, he was all over the board. I want you guys to take a look at this clip, just a clip of him and what he said. This is clip number 6.
I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now about to cross this stage and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
Wow. Well, I've actually watched the entire speech. I certainly encourage you all to watch it. Great speech. Most of it was about Catholicism, believe it or not, because of course he's Catholic and he was speaking to a Catholic school. But he took a lot of criticism, specifically about that line, because many in the media and on the left said he was pushing back against women in the workplace and advocating or saying women need to stay home, which he didn't say. Shelley, what are your thoughts on this?
First of all, I'm a woman. I'm in the workplace, and I work with a lot of women in the workplace. I push back on some of them Negroes in the workplace, too, and they're women. So I do that, too. So I'm with Butker on that. All these women who are, up in a tizzy about what he said. He was talking to Catholics, presumably, at a Catholic college about, like you said, traditional Catholic values. And look, we have said on here, we work and we have families. There is nothing wrong, not at all, with a woman choosing to be a homemaker. It really is. It's a beautiful thing. If she wants to stay home with her children and her husband can provide, what is wrong with that? I have nothing to do with that. It's a beautiful thing. But to bash this man, to have a petition to get him canceled from what? I mean, canceled from the free market of thought.
Yeah.
That's basically what they want to do.
This. I'm a man.
And I wanted to get your thoughts on this.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, from a male point of view.
We're not supposed to speak on women issues.
Right. A mansplaining.
Yeah, a mansplaining. I just want to bring up, this whole thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying something today. I think a man should have spoke up. They trying to take out traditional values nowadays. That's why they don't want men speaking up. I ain't afraid of that. We need traditional values, and we need to go back to the way God was doing things, and I'm not afraid to say it. And he wasn't afraid to say it, and he shouldn't have been afraid to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want you guys to take, again, as you mentioned, they have been trying to get him removed from the team. People have tried to cancel him on the left. He never said there was anything wrong with women working. He just praised women who stay at home, which we don't see often. We do not see more people in the public arena talking about homemakers. I mean, to me, again, I'm not a homemaker, but to me, it's nice to hear that side or that perspective praised, because you don't hear it a lot. You certainly don't.
And why does anyone, you know me, I am 100% for free speech. Right. Not only that, he was on his own time. He wasn't using NFL time to take a knee like somebody else that got praised on the court, on the job technically, because he was at work. I don't have a problem with, what's his name? Nappy Nick? Nappy Nick. Nappy Nick. I don't have a problem with Nappy Nick taking a knee. I don't have a problem, I don't agree with him for what he's doing it for, but I don't have a problem taking a knee. The problem I had was that it was on his company time, right? And then he used that to bring his political thing to the field, so to speak. But this man, Butker Harrison, was on his own time. He was invited to speak there. Why can people not have an opinion that doesn't go along with yours or mine? And why did it have to be canceled?
Yeah. And speaking of that, I want to get into that, the differences between how Colin Kaepernick was received and then how Harrison Butker was received. Take a look at, this is Patrick Mahomes, yeah. Mahomes talking about the backlash that Harrison Butker has received. This is clip number 5.
Comments made at the commencement speech made a lot of waves. What was your reaction to just hearing what he said there?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like I was talking about with the Rashid thing. I think it's just, I know Harrison. I've known him for 7 years, and I judge him by the character that he shows every single day, and that's a good person. That's someone who cares about the people around him, cares about his family, and wants to make a good impact in society. When you're in the locker room, there's a lot of people from a lot of different areas of life, and they have a lot of different views on everything, and we're not always going to agree, but and there's certain things that he said that I don't necessarily agree with, but I understand the person that he is, and he's trying to do whatever he can to lead people in the right direction, and that might not be the same values as I have, but at the same time, I'm going to judge him by the character that he shows every single day, and that's a great person, and we'll continue to move along and try to help build each other up to make ourselves better every single day.
Wow. So that was really well done. I thought well done. I mean, you don't hear many colleagues or sports people standing up for someone like Harrison Butker. What are your thoughts there, Shelley?
I think that the reports that I've read about the NFL coming out, he doesn't represent us.
Right.
I mean, to me, that's just low, right? You don't have to say anything. He was not representing the NFL. I mean, again, I'm for free speech. You can, but you don't have to. You don't have to defend him or not defend him. He was not talking on behalf of the NFL. He was talking on behalf of Harrison Butker as an individual, a Catholic, made in the image of God at a Catholic school, presumably. And again, those are female reporters that asked Patrick Mahomes the question. You know what I would have told them? I would have said, "Are you at the home right now?" And they would have said, "No, we're here interviewing you." I would have said, "Well, then shut up. What's your point? You're not in the home. What difference does it make? He's not talking to you."
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree there. So we're going to continue to follow that story. I'm glad that he stood up. And I want to get your perspective on this, Chris, as far as people standing up for their values in a society, in a political sphere where a lot of conservative traditional values are looked down upon.
This is what I have to say about that. In this, Republicans, really anybody, really, this is an era we should. Someone asked me, how are we going to be looked at 10, maybe 100 years from now? We're going to be in a generation that where the word that's being used is cowards. And everybody needs to stand up, no matter what, whether you get canceled or not, unless you got a damn good job. That seems like what everybody's worried about. I'm going to get fired from my job, Oh, Lord, I got a good job. If you don't have a damn good job, then you don't have nothing to lose. Stand up, because history is going to remember us, the era when they're trying to take our children. They're trying to take to make the woman sit down, make the man out the home, put dresses on your children. We don't have enough people standing up, KJ.
Yeah.
Shelley E. We don't have enough people standing up. And I've heard Vivek say this on his show, Vivek say this on his show, that especially the Republican Party is a bunch of cowards. And I'm not one. I'm not a coward. I'm standing up. I don't know. I've seen you stand up. I've seen you. I'm gonna stand up.
Yeah.
Okay. History gonna say to me that I stood up.
Right.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I know this isn't on the schedule, but I wanted to kind of talk about the whole issue between MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Jasmine Crockett. So we talked about this last week, but you guys know they had a blow up between them in Congress. And we talked about it. You definitely can check out I think it was our last live. We talked about it. But now Jasmine Crockett is coming out with T-shirts where she is copywritten the phrase she gave or said to MTG. She called her bleach blonde, bad built butch body. Yeah, bleach blonde, bad built butch body. And I know you had a pretty strong opinion about their exchange, Chris.
Listen.
Because it started out with Marjorie Taylor Greene commenting
Jasmine
on...
has a nerve. You got fake hair. You got weave in your head. You're an embarrassment. And listen, every time I was hoping you didn't ask me this. I'm going to piss off every black woman in America. This weave stuff has got to stop. She said you got fake weave and you looking like her. You trying to look like her. And your big butch body don't look that better either. I saw a picture of her all this time I seen her behind the desk. I thought she was a little skinny little lady. She got a muffin top and everything. You know, I mean, I don't mean to go there with women body, you know, but if you got a butch body yourself, don't call a cattle black. And in Congress, y'all two got a nerve. The problem is with Jasmine, somebody been needed to put Jasmine in her place.
Yeah.
She should be not representing black women in Congress with that fake weave in her head. I'm sorry. If that's the best you can do for representation of a black woman to our girls and everything, you needed to be called out on your fake lashes. And she really wanted to say something about your fake weave. I'm sorry. Y'all knew I was. Listen, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this false representation of black people all the way up on the Congress level. You got a nerve. Somebody should have told you to be quiet. And I wish I was in Congress. I would have interrupted because no men speak. I'd have said, girl, look, you got weave in your head. How can you talk about somebody with fake? You're blonde. All you need to do is bleach that thing blonde, and you just as bleach blonde as she is. And I bet you one day you'll come in with some bleach blonde weave in your head. You're a representative of black women everywhere. You shouldn't come in there looking like that. And if I was there, I would have told her. I'm sorry. The bleach blonde thing, and Margie didn't say much because she don't want to be seen. Then you teasing her. I'm tired of this degradation of black. This is the best you can do as black community is tease people. It needs to stop. It's one of the men. I know they hit their gavel. One of the men should have said, "Listen, fake weave lady, you should sit down and shut up.
Oh my God!
You can't. You got no room to talk. You got no room to talk, man. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I did. Chris has mentioned this to me last week.
Tell us how you really feel.
Really
She
strong.
got fake weave in her head. In the highest level of the land. We have been, Kevin said, all of us as black men have been trying to get our race together, and she's misrepresenting herself and then get mad when somebody call her out on it. Everybody should have said something. Y'all know I've been saying. I wrote a letter about this. I'm tired of this representation. What's she gonna come in there twerking next? Is she gonna come in there twerking next?
You see where his passion lies.
Man.
You see where his passion lies.
Yes.
It's like they can do anything and get away with. She gonna come in there twerking one day and just twerk around. The weave gonna come off her head and everything, and she gonna say, "Don't say nothing to me about it." And we should come out with a T-shirt with her that say, "Weave wearing butch body, butch body muffin top, butch body muffin top."
One thing about the T-shirt, she spelled her own name wrong.
Right, I remember that. Yeah.
She spelled her own name wrong, but
yeah, she did. She did. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How can you can't, okay.
All right,
I'm sorry. I didn't want to go there, but I think somebody really needs to start speaking. Kevin Samuels is dead and gone. But I think somebody needs to really put some people in. This is Congress. You can't do that. All she said, and I don't agree with what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. She said, "Listen, maybe your fake eyelashes, whatever." I know she wanted to go with the hair. But she probably said, "If I say something about her hair, black women everywhere are gonna be." No, they need to get mad. Take that damn weave out your hair and be a real woman and talk to me like a real person before you come for me and talk about at least my butch body is real. Man.
Okay.
All right.
Right along.
All right. Yes. All right. So that was that. I do want to acknowledge
this. For that, but
hey, man, you can come on here. You speak your mind. This is what we're all about. Speak your mind. I do want to acknowledge a super chatter here. Krista, she says, "Chris, say it." Look, Chris, say it. Thank you so much, Krista. Yes, we certainly appreciate it. Again, guys, it's Chris Anderson, Christopher Anderson. You can find him on his website. We've linked it here. That is for our listening audience, tinyurl.com/elect Chris. All right, he is running as a conservative
Probably
here
in
Baltimore City.
But I'm sorry, that's what you said standing up just before you said that. You put me on the spot.
Yeah,
I mean, she didn't it go back and forth, muffin top and butch body, muffin top and butch body. At least one of them is real.
Okay.
All right. We will continue to follow that. Moving right along now to Caitlyn Clark. So the ESPN host Jemele Hill has branded Caitlyn Clark's fame and success partly problematic, as the ex-ESPN personality cited the Indiana Fever star's race and sexuality as reasons for her rise. So you guys know Caitlyn Clark, last month's #1 overall pick by the Indiana Fever, has signed a $28 million Nike contract and received her own signature shoe from the brand, in addition to endorsement deals with the likes of State Farm and Wilson Basketball. However, Jemele Hill believes that her success shows an imbalance in how non-white LGBTQ players are received publicly as compared with white and straight Clark. She says, we would all be very naive if we didn't say race and her sexuality played a role in her popularity. Shelly, I want to get your thoughts first. So once again, she's representing they put the minorities with the LGBT.
How did they get together? Number one.
You talk first.
Okay. How did her sexuality or her ethnicity, I'll say, her skin color line up with her LGBT or whatever?
You know,
I didn't
they're all
understand that. That's
victim class.
Right. Well, if that's the case, can we ask the same question to Angel Reese and the other WNBA women who have gotten endorsements and whatever contracts, because they get money and fame too,
well,
right?
She's saying though that Caitlyn Clark has gotten the most, and it's because she's white.
Maybe it's because she's good. Maybe it's because she's good. I don't know. I don't. Okay. Jemele Hill is a washed up, has-been, so-called journalist who is angry and bitter. That's what she is. And anybody who's white, and I don't even know how she puts LGBTQ, and I don't even know why that matters, but LGBTQ, they are not the majority representation of America. Straight people are. Whether or not, you know, white people, black people, straight people by and large, heterosexual people are still the majority of representation for American human beings. Jemele Hill, go sit down somewhere, go back to journalism school maybe go be a homemaker. I know that. I don't know.
Yeah, what are your thoughts there?
Jemele Hill, they are trying their best to you know, I'm the identity politics candidate. They're trying their best to mold race and LGBTQ together because they're trying to hijack the civil rights movement. I'm gonna stand up. Look, it's a lot of people, not enough black people saying it. Black people, I'm sorry, Malcolm X said they're chumps when they let the liberal party and people like this journalist dictate to them what to think.
Right.
LGBTQ don't have nothing to do with race and us as a people. They're using it to just push agenda on us, to get more money, to making excuses, a new victim mentality host. It's wrong, and we should speak up about it more often. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I totally agree with you both. I think, you know, definitely Clark stands out because of her accomplishments and stats. I mean, she's far beyond. I think she's even now broken records that men haven't broken. You know, some. So within the NBA,
and she's not even trying to be transgender. She's just still being a woman.
Right. Yeah, still being a woman. So, you know, her accomplishments, her record speaks for itself, and she's getting what she's well deserved. So, and this is what we want. I mean, sports right now are the last bastion of places where they're not talking about, you know, oh, you got to be black to do this, you got to be female, you know, this type of thing. It's if you put up the points, you get the rewards.
Exactly.
If you put up the points, you play. If you don't, you don't play. If you're good on the feet, on the side, on the basketball, JV, right? Whatever. Then you're gonna go to the NBA. So it is what it is.
All these other issues are excuses.
Right. Exactly. All right. Speaking of excuses, we're moving on to Bidenomics. So many shoppers have been shocked by what they pay at the grocery store checkout these days. Food prices have shot up amid broader inflation in recent years and remain high for many staples. As consumers struggle with elevated food costs, they can lead to unpaid debt balances. We've talked about this on here before. Now people are turning to pay later, buy now, pay later installment programs or payday loans to pay for groceries. This is what they're having to do now because of this economy within this Biden administration. Well, of course, Biden is not taking any type of accountability for this. He's lying. Not only he's pushing it on to Trump, but he's lying about it. Take a look at this. This is clip number 7.
It was 9% when I came to office. 9%. But look, people have a right to be concerned. I think inflation has gone slightly up. It was at 9% when I came in, and it's now down around 3%.
Jared, why does he keep saying that? You're its top you're the head of the Council of Economic Advisors. Do you ever whisper in his ear, Mr. President, just to be technical about it, it was at 9% when you assumed office. It was 1.4%. It got as high as 9% in 2022. You brought it down from that, but it was never, ever, ever 9% when you came into office. So why does he keep saying it?
Well, first of all, let me point out that in that very quote you played, the president talked about how concerned he was for households struggling with prices that he consistently
That's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you.
So
why does he keep misrepresenting this?
He's making the point that the factors that caused inflation to climb to 9% were in place when he took office. No.
Wow. So I'm so happy Cavuto called him on that, because he has been saying every interview he gives now, when they're talking about inflation, he continues to say when he entered office, it was 9%. And it's just a lie. It's a lie.
A flat lie. I'm going to sing my song. Remember the In Vogue song? Lies, using lies as alibis. Remember that? Yeah. That's what they do. That's what Biden does and has been doing. And now he got this poor man, this economist working for him, lying for him too. In 2020, I wrote it down in my notes here. Let me make sure. In 2020, inflation was about 1.3, maybe 1.4%.
Wow.
2021 went up to like 4.7%. And then today, now it's back down today to 3.4%, 3.5. But between that time, it was 9%. It has gone up. This is a lie. Over his time in office, it has gone up. It has gone up. It has increased about 4% or more, give or take on average. That's a lie. People, and then the payday loans, they talking about these people. Well, didn't Obama, regulate and kind of put them out of business? Now he claimed he was helping the poor. Now the poor are trying to get the loans from the people that he banned. Remember what I always say. Progressive policies pulverize the people they purport to protect. See, I was using alliteration way before Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
He's doing more than lying. He's covering up. Listen, every time I hear about this, I'm in politics. Every time someone takes over, you take over from the other person's administration. Mm-hmm. So whatever was going on there, their problems, you can blame it on them. But last time I checked, you're supposed to own it. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to own it, and he's not owning it. He got a nerve to punch his chops out and talk about don't even call it Bidenomics no more. It's a mess. It's a mess. And then you say, it's not Bidenomics. It's Trump. It's just Trump's. It's the previous amendment. No, own it. Own it. Explain yourself. You can't. No. You can't, Biden.
They
you can't
find any way to blame Trump.
Call it Biden failure. Call it Biden failure. That's what you call it.
I agree. But let me ask you guys. So we do see, everyone that I know personally are having a harder time under this administration.
Yes.
Now, many people that I know have to take out a second job.
Yeah.
We all know the groceries have gone up.
Right.
Everything has gone up. But yet people are still voting for them, specifically people in our community. What is going on?
They can't, inflation. They can't make their money, their money last long like they used to, right? I told you before, I love Wegmans. I know Wegmans is a little bit, more expensive than your average grocery store anyway. But when I go and buy the same thing, the same staples that I buy pretty much every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, I'm paying on average about $25 more for my whole grocery, those staples. So it has gone up. So when people say that they have to take out loans or credit cards, I believe that. And then, of course, it's going to hurt some families a little bit more. So, but these, again, you are voting for this. You continuously vote for this. And the people who are taking out these loans and payday loans or whatever, I believe that most of you are voting for this thinking that, they're going to help me. The Democrat, they're going to give me, they're going to do this, they're going to make it better. The Republicans are racist. And they want to put us back in chains. Well, if your pocket is in chains, it ain't the Republican that's doing that. It's the people you're voting for and putting them in office.
Biden just had a speech at Morehouse College, I think it was, where he rolled out If you want to know the answer, it's propaganda. It's run deep.
Absolutely.
We've been doing this all the way back from Al Sharpton. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Change. Hope, Lord, change. In our black community, look, wake up, black. I'll look right at the camera. Wake up, black. Wake up. They're lying to you, and the lies run deep. Now the grocery bill can go straight high, and we say to ourselves, well, we should give them another try. Maybe they'll get it right the second time. That's that keep hope alive nonsense still running in your head. They're lying to you at this point. And you're supposed to know better. You're supposed to know better. I don't want to hear another liberal tell me, oh, why are you a Republican? Why are you? At least we had a conscious shift of mindset and say we want something different.
Right.
They still trying to, oh, wait a minute, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Even though the grocery bills ain't alive, even though my gas and electric bill is very high, keep hope alive. We might can do it next time. No, it's time we stop with that nonsense. Yeah. It's time we vote different. It's time we looked at a different plan for something. Bidenomics ain't working. Somebody need to go up and tell them.
Yeah.
Somebody black.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Well, we're all coming from a conservative perspective. We're all Republicans here. Speaking of Republicans, I want to talk about Hogan. Larry Hogan. So the 2024 Maryland Senate race is set to be a closely watched contest between former Governor Larry Hogan and Angela Also Brooks. Larry Hogan, a popular Republican known for his moderate stance, will face off against Angela Also Brooks, a Democrat, and the current PG County, that's Prince George's County, executive. The race is expected to be much more competitive than the typical Maryland statewide race, with both candidates having strong support bases and experience in Maryland politics. Recently, Governor Hogan put out a 30-second ad, first reported by Politico, where he has totally changed his stance on abortion. Take a look here. This is clip 8.
I'm Larry Hogan. As governor, I promised to uphold Maryland law on abortion while providing over-the-counter birth control covered by insurance, and I kept my word. Today, with Roe overturned, many have asked what I'll do in the United States Senate. I'll support legislation that makes Roe the law of the land in every state, so every woman can make her own choice. I'm Larry Hogan, and I approve this message because no one should come between a woman and her doctor.
Wow. So that is a total flip. He put that out after the Maryland primary. What are your thoughts on this? He's, of course, doing this because he believes that this will get him to win. What are your thoughts, Shelley?
All right, so I have a little contrarian view here. We live in Maryland. Yes, I voted for Republican Governor Hogan, when he was here twice as a governor. But I remember when Dan Cox was running the Republican representative in the primary. And I remember Republicans, again, my side, some people in my side told those of us who were voting for Dan Cox, he can't win. We said, no, we're voting for him for principle because he represents the views that many conservatives have, the values. No, you need to vote for Hogan's pick, who was Schultz, right? I think Schultz.
Kathy Schultz.
So, but we said we were standing on principle. And although Hogan was not running, he didn't do our party any good. But other people in my side were saying that, no, you can't vote for Cox because he's not going to win. It's all about politics, it's all about winning. Well, that's what Hogan is doing. He's all about winning, and that's what he's doing.
This is so delicate. I mean, on one hand, why would he? Is he saying that? Is he saying keep it to the states or go?
No, he is saying that he's going with Biden and Kamala. He's actually saying that if he gets into office, he is going to codify it, making it mandatory
from a federal perspective.
Federal law that abortion is the law of the land.
Listen,
from Mississippi to Maryland.
Pray to God, and I say pray to God that Governor Hogan changes that stance. A lot of Republicans just can't seem to answer the abortion question. And they think that's going to win them by going against it. Listen, if it's pandering, whatever, I think we should vote for Hogan. I mean, Also Brooks is going to do the same thing. So we might as well have Hogan in there. Also Brooks is going to do the same thing. But at least we can go to I think if he gets in there, we can petition him and say, Governor Hogan, don't do this.
Right.
Don't do this, Governor Hogan. You talk about codifying murder into the Constitution. Really, I can't stand behind it.
I mean, in Maryland,
I don't think anybody black should be standing behind it. The
Like
number one
what?
people
Oh,
killers
okay,
of
so
abortion is.
Well, why do you think no one black should stand behind it?
It's the number one customer to Planned Parenthood. I'll say it right in front of everybody, which people don't want to say, is African American women.
Right.
The number one customer to abortion and genocide, and our rates are up in the genocide level. So when you say something like that, that's why they don't want to say nothing, and no one wants to tackle this question.
Well, to your
because
point about
it
Brooks,
grossly affects us. And also, Brooks, she shouldn't say it either. You're a black woman. I would ask her the same thing. You're a woman. Why would you do that to your own kind? And they don't want to say that this is an identity politics issue. I'm sorry. Abortion is look at the rates. Okay. It's killing the African American community.
But wait a minute, to your point about Maryland, like you said, she's going to do the same thing. So you might as well have Hogan in there, right? But I agree with you.
She's going to do the same thing. At least we can talk to Hogan.
People on my side said, it doesn't make a difference as long as you got to be in the battle, so to speak, to make the change.
She's sold out.
But what's important to me as well, besides this, or in addition to this, is that it's important for us to make sure that the House is Republican so that they don't pass legislation to send to the Senate.
Thank you. That we listen. A lot of people. I don't want to. A lot of people might not want to vote for Hogan because of that. But we need that R in there. At least we can negotiate. Look, he's going to be the most powerful person in the Senate if he wins. The most powerful person. He's going to be the swing.
I think he will be.
And he's going to be the one to have both ears. He's going to have the ears of the left, and he's going to have the ears of the right. I think some people on the right should go to him and petition him and say don't. And I think some people on the left should, especially African American women. Also, Brooks herself should say no, you shouldn't do that.
But she's not.
Okay, but she's not. So it'd be better off. Look, she's sold out. I ain't afraid to say it. And she's sold out to the machine, and she's gonna do whatever the Democrats say. See, they say kill babies. She's gonna line up with a scalpel herself and might do the first abortion herself. Okay, I doubt Hogan does that.
Well,
he shouldn't be saying this.
I think that everyone has a line that they are saying is too far.
Yeah.
This for me is too far.
It's too far.
But like you said, I mean, if he had said this prior to the primary, I wouldn't have voted for him. I wouldn't have voted for him. Yeah, he didn't say it until after the primary. But I mean, here we are in the general, and like you said, I mean, you only have two choices, and he would be the better choice, a more conservative choice than
both of them are going to do it.
She would.
Angela, she might go to the scaffold quicker than he will.
In that case, Trump is not fully pro-life either. So I mean,
but at least he's not going to codify it.
I know that. I'm just saying,
level.
but I'm saying, I hear he didn't say
we need a debate on this. We need a debate on this one issue. A real debate in America.
Well, okay, that's fine. We can have a debate. But politically speaking, Republicans have not been winning on this issue in those states who have put it up on the ballot. They have not been, even in red states.
That's because they are afraid. Listen, I was at a summit, and I kid you, at CPAC, and I was at a summit in a room full of Republicans, only Republicans at this convention. And I'm sitting in the room, and the abortion issue came up. The room went dead silent. You could drop a pin on the floor. Everybody up there was white, and they could not, and they was like, well, we don't know how to answer this. They were so afraid. And I say, you answered by saying Margaret Sanger created Planned Parenthood to kill African-American babies. If you want the black vote so bad and you want black people in your party, then tell the truth. This is an issue of the black race, and we've been killing them off for years. I'm sorry to say it. Let's be real. We've been killing African Americans for years, and we've been doing it, using it with abortion and disguising it as a right to choose. The left can continue to do that, but we're not going to do that. Why is that so hard to say? Because it disproportionately affects us. And if someone like Hogan was brave enough to say that, or at least get some advice from somebody like me or you to tell him, listen, you can't do that. And also Brooks too. Somebody should embarrass her. You're a black woman and you're talking about killing babies, black babies. Well, abortion is for everybody's right to choose. No, it's not. Stop lying. Listen, the education level in America is so dumbed down. People just think, oh, you got people, this is the right to choose. I would debate anybody that's pro-choice. And everybody should be pro-life. Okay. Some people, you church people. You church people. Oh my God, you church people. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Some of your black churches that are so-called pro-life. And then got a nerve to say, Jesus, God, the church is God is God. Forget the church. God is pro-life. Your life. Okay? Stand up. Have some balls. I'm really, really tired of this Republican Party. Hogan, I hope he's put him in there. It'd be better off. We can negotiate. She's going to do the same thing. She might do the same thing. She might run quicker with the scalpel to the black babies. And it's a shame to say that for a black African American than Hogan will. Hogan got a conscience, I think.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean,
she said she don't think so.
I mean, it's clear. It is clear now that he is just wants power and he wants to get in there and do what
But that's what we were told. That's important, right?
That's what we were told. That's
Republicans
Republican.
think that's important.
The R behind his name. He will. It is a fact.
Well,
that
he
will-
said, like
will
you
be the
said,
most powerful person in the Senate.
I mean, again, he won. He won handedly. And let's be honest, anybody else, any other Republican in that seat we would not even be talking about this seat.
It wouldn't even be.
It wouldn't be a discussion. They're done. There's no way they would win.
It hadn't been a Republican for how many years, right?
So right now we have a chance to do a small change because again, I honestly don't know how he would probably. I think he would vote much more conservatively than also Brooks, but he certainly would not be in line with the traditional everyday conservative.
He never has been a traditional everyday conservative. Even in Maryland, he has not been.
But Maryland, he still didn't codify.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but he still has not been a traditional conservative fully in Maryland.
Absolutely, yeah.
When he was governor, I mean,
He's good on conservative values, business, but because physical conservatism. But as far as the issues, he don't represent what we represent as Republicans. We know that. We knew that about Hogan years ago. Hogan himself says he's in the middle. I'm in the middle of the road, and we know that. I think it's better to have him in there so we can negotiate, at least make it an issue. This abortion issue, like you said, if he wasn't running, no one would even be talking about it. They'd be just killing babies as usual. I think if he's listening or anybody that's thinking about it, we need to negotiate with Governor Hogan and all of them, and including Angela also Brooks. Y'all need to stop this damn killing of black babies. I'll say it. If no one else would be brave enough to say it, Vivek, he's not brave enough to say it. Only person I know brave enough to say it is Donald Trump. And people got a nerve to call him a racist. And you black people in your churches, y'all not saying nothing. You have a nerve to keep going to church Sunday after Sunday, professing Jesus and letting this nonsense, your black church is sold out. And people, look, they got politicians coming in churches now, going up on the pulpit. Westmore going up on the pulpit, talking about killing babies.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Reproductive rights.
It makes no sense. That's the biggest issue of this race. And I think it should be on the forefront. And I think Governor Hogan should lead it at least with a debate and a conversation. And he should hear words that I'm saying right now. Is it okay to kill black babies? Yes or no? That question should go to Alston Brooks and Hogan.
That's a good way to do it. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Even a man on the street, is it okay to kill black babies?
Yeah, that question should go to both of them.
But when you ask that, all they'll say is, well,
woman's right
it's a woman's right.
That's a bull.
To do what she wants to do with her
that's a
body.
bullshit cop out. That's a bullshit cop out. You know the facts on what is her name, Margaret Sanger. What about the pro-black community? That's why somebody told me, you black conservatives aren't pro-black. You pro-black people are just as weak as the black church. I can't believe y'all not speaking up. Look, the civil rights era is over.
Yeah.
You guys are weak, letting them kill black babies on the high numbers, and now we got an issue in Congress, and everybody just saying, let the she's the first black, the first. Even Westmore, they said the same thing.
Yeah.
They're killing our children.
That's what
they are killing our children. It needs to stop. If I'm the one to say it, and Donald Trump's way, Donald Trump has my vote.
Okay. Well, my thing about it is this, and we'll leave it at that. I feel like he didn't have to go this far. I mean, he could have just said, you know what? I am going to do like Trump is doing and leave it up to the states. I believe it should be a state issue. That's the way the Constitution was made. I mean, it's the Constitution. It's a state's issue, and let the states have it. He could have said that. He didn't even have, but to codify it in Congress, to make from Mississippi to Maryland, the law of the land is abortion.
Hell no. I'll say it. I'll go with Shelly E on this show right now, even if it costs me votes, because I stand up for Jesus Christ. Hell no, we not doing that. We not doing that on this watch. Not on my watch. We ain't doing it. Not while I breathe air. We not doing it. I don't care if I got to call the White House itself and say, listen, we need a debate on the abortion, because black people, you need to wake your asses up and wake up fast. You're being lied to by the media.
Me, don't curse.
Huh? I'm tired. This one really got me mad. When I heard Hogan say this, it got to me. They just pander. Forget the black babies. You might as well say, okay, we're gonna win these races, and these politicians, like you said, just to get power, off the blacks of black babies. Hell no, not on my watch. Not while Jesus Christ is sitting on the throne.
All right.
All right. Well, there you have it. Sorry. If it's not funny, you're right. You're right. You're right. That's I want you guys, this is Chris Anderson. That is his contact information, his website, tinyurl.com/elect Chris. He is running here for city council in the 7th district. He is on fire, guys. He would appreciate your support if you can. That's tinyurl.com/elect Chris. Chris, how can people help your campaign? You know, that's what I want to know before we leave.
I need donations left and right. As you see, I got a message. And I think, Hogan, between the two of them, in this race, we're going to have to vote the lesser of two evils. And that is, Hogan. At least we can negotiate with him. My race needs donations. I need to get signs. I need to get the message out. Hell no, not on my watch.
Yeah,
so go to my website, donate. Give me the energy to make it through to the general. At least get, I want to back. I think we should, as a community, we should shift to the Republican Party at this time. The liberal ideologies just aren't working. They don't serve us no more. They're not working for us no more. You got these two wonderful ladies out here and put it all on the line because they want a change of mindset. We all do, and I do too. So please give me the energy. Go to my website, tinyurl.com/elect Chris. Give us the energy to make it all the way to the general. At least get this. I mean, this is an important race. I never said it in my life. This is an important race. Now we got Hogan and Trump all over again. Listen, we need to make peace. We need to look. They're gonna make Jesus come back early. I swear they're gonna make Jesus come back early. So give me the energy I need. Please.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts for tonight, Shelley. We're at the end of our time.
Well, I'm tipping my hat and waving my flag like I said I was going to be doing. So, again, you've heard a lot here tonight. I just encourage you to go, get educated, get information, push back, stand up for our rights, for your community. We have a country to save. Let's do it.
All right. Absolutely. And as I always say, our mantra for 2024 is to be aware and prepare. We are no longer talking to the sheep. We're talking to the lions.
Wake up.
We are waking the lions.
Wake up.
Absolutely. To be aware. So we want to bring you guys the topics, the issues that matter most, and to prepare. Prepare for what's coming, because something is coming. Whether it's 2024 on up to 4044. Something is coming, and we need to be aware, not only prepare ourselves, but the next generation, our children. Wake up, because we are at a crossroads. There's only two choices. Choose life. We also want you to choose our website. Go to www.popandpoliticslive.com. You can go on there and support us by donating. Also, you can get merchandise. We're selling merch. We have mugs on there, T-shirts. Memorial Day is coming. You guys know we're patriots. Go on there and check us out. And if you do decide to buy something, please send us a photo or a video with you supporting your merch, rocking your merch. All right, guys, that does it for us tonight. Shelley, go ahead.
Say one more thing. I'm sorry. You mentioned that it was Memorial Day is coming up. We want to give a special honor and acknowledgement to all of our veterans, particularly those who are POWs and MIAs who are laid to rest. We thank you for your service, and your families that are still here. We thank you for their service.
Right. I serve too. So yes, happy Memorial to everybody. And yes, wake up that political lion. Wake that patriot lion right up. That patriot lion, wake that lion up.
Yes, indeed. And I'm so honored to sit with two veterans here. So Shelley is a veteran, and also Chris is a veteran.
United States Coast Guard.
Army.
Yes. All right. So guys, we are. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we're all here. That's what I said. We represent the veterans and representing the conservatives. All right. That does it for us tonight. Again, thank you so much for watching. You can catch us this weekend. We're generally on Friday or Saturday. So certainly subscribe so you know when we go live. Again, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Good night.